Brief announcement for you, UpChurch. I want you to mark your calendars for October 30th. We're going to have our Halloween bingo night. This is going to be a really, really fun fundraiser, and we're going to play bingo and laugh and have a blast all together. So I want you to tell your friends, because I know you have some friends who love bingo. I want you to tell them to save the date, October 30th. There are going to be prizes and games and cash prizes, so much fun. If you're interested in helping us bring on this bingo night, if you're like, I want to get a part of the exciting planning committee, reach out to me, Sheree at upchurch.org. See you soon.
Would you join me in giving a very big special thank you to our social media all-stars? Thank you to everyone who has said yes to helping us grow globally. We deeply appreciate your comments, your likes, your shares. And here's the thing, there is room on this team for you. If you have a heart for social media or you're on social media all the time, go ahead and join the team. It's really simple. Email us at upchurch@upchurch.org and we will get you signed up. And thank you to Glenda Fikes McCrae, who helped us choose the clips that you're seeing this month.
Hello, UpChurch family. I have exciting news. It's back to school time. It is time for us to get back into the classroom. We have two powerful spiritual growth opportunities for you. The first is spiritual principles for lasting weight loss. You heard me right. We're going to have the spiritual principles for lasting weight loss experience again. It's fresh and new for those of you who've taken it before. I want to encourage you to come in so you can just break the chains that have bound you to excess weight. And so we're going to do that together on Sundays from 11:30 a.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have that experience before the worship experience each Sunday. And so I want to encourage you to register today. You won't regret it. Second class is our Bible class. John Downey has been teaching our Bible series, and it's been an amazing experience. I hear from you. And so Bible 3 is coming up at 3 p.m. on Sundays. And this is where we get into the metaphysical interpretation of the Old Testament. I'm telling you, you want to be in both of these classes, really. But it is important that you wake yourself up so that you can let your body be free from all the baggage that you may have accumulated over time. And it's important that you understand the tool that the Bible is and how to interpret it so that you can get principle out of it. Those two experiences begin October 3rd. Register today. It's only $15 per course. Register today.
Hello, UpChurch family. Well, as you know, we are looking for a new church home, and we need your help. And there are lots of ways that you can help. First and foremost, we're looking for a commercial real estate agent. So if you know someone, send us their contact information. You can send that to boardsecretary@upchurch.org. Also, we need a couple of people who would be willing to go out and look at the properties that the real estate agent finds for us. And it's a simple process of going out, taking a look, taking a few pictures and sending them back to us. If you're interested, drop us an email. Now, if you happen to be out and about during your day and you see a building and you think, hey, that might work for UpChurch, take a picture of the sign and email it to us. If you know someone who has some property that they would be willing to sell or lease or even donate to UpChurch, have them get in contact with us, boardsecretary@upchurch.org. And finally, we appreciate the way that you have continued to support our building fund. Let's continue to keep supporting the building fund. Those donations make a tremendous difference. So if you have any questions, drop us an email, boardsecretary@upchurch.org. And in the meantime, thank you once again in advance for all of your support. Peace and blessings. Enjoy the service.
You're bound to move on up. Just believe and you on working on your doors, make all your dreams come true.
Yeah, yeah.
Open up your heart and mind to God so He can bless you. By understanding your principles, you're bound to move on
You're
up.
bound to move on up.
Just believe
Yeah.
and you can receive. Your faith
Oh,
can be
your
enough.
faith can be
Just keep
enough.
on working on your doors, make all your dreams come true.
Yeah.
Open up your heart and mind to God so He can bless you.
You deny your dreams is not the thing God's got in mind for you. Work on your dreams.
Work on it.
And dream about your work.
Yes, I'm dreaming.
But I'm not sleeping. I won't stop until I make it all
By
through.
understanding your principles, you're bound to
Oh,
move
you're
on up.
bound to move on
Just
up.
believe and you can receive. Your faith
Oh,
can be
your
enough.
faith can't be
Just keep on
enough.
working on your doors, make all your dreams come true.
Working, yeah.
Open up your heart and mind to God so He
You
can
know what?
bless you.
God gives dreams to all of us. No two are quite the same. Keep your mind focused and direct. Send those negative thoughts and vibes back to where they came.
By understanding your principles, you're bound to
Oh,
move
you're
on up.
bound to move on
Just
up.
believe and you can receive. Your faith can
Oh,
be
your
enough.
faith can be
Just keep on
enough.
working on your doors, make all your dreams
Make
come
all
true.
your dreams come true.
Open up your heart and mind to God so
Oh, what you
He
gotta
can
do
bless you.
is
Move on up,
oh, you gotta move on
move
up.
on up,
Yeah, move on up.
move on up,
Hey, move on up, move on up.
move on up,
Yeah,
move on up,
you gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move on up.
move on up,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
move on up,
You gotta move on up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
move on up.
Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Go, oh, yeah, yeah.
Understanding principles, you're bound to move on up.
A very special thank you to our worship team. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for just every week showing up and showing out. All right, I want to welcome you through our virtual doors. I'm Reverend Sherri James, and I'm the senior minister of this growing global community. And I'm really excited that you are here. But before I get into all the stuff that we have for the service, I want to do just a little bit of housekeeping. First things first, if you are watching this on YouTube, would you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? It makes a difference. It helps us get the word out. Go ahead and join and become a part of this page. Also, make sure you leave us a comment that you like the video and definitely hit that share button. And if you are watching this on Facebook, we're going to ask you to do the same thing. Would you go ahead and like our page and make sure that you click that notifications button so that you can get notifications every time we release new content. Yes, thank you, thank you. We are in week 4 of this incredible series, Move into Your Promised Land, an Adventure in Faith. And I have been using the prayers that we developed at the top of the year. I had no idea we'd be in this position where we are today. We developed the prayers at the top of the year that were about moving us into our building, moving us into a space that we can flourish and thrive and welcome you into our physical doors. And so I am using these prayers as our opening prayers, and I'm rotating between the three that were developed. And this morning's prayer comes from the group that was led by Reverend Sheree Thompson. Would you pray with me? UPCHURCH is God's perfect idea. We wholeheartedly say yes and claim our perfect building for worship, education, fellowship, spiritual growth, and community outreach. Thank you for our loving spiritual community who supports the ministry generously with time, talent, and treasure. We are spirit in expression, on one accord, and in the flow of God's lavish abundance of health, wealth, ideas, and resources. Our church home is filled with joy and love and creates a space for healing. We manage our new facility under grace in a perfect way. Thank you that we meet every growth opportunity with courage, strength, and abundant supply. We release the prayer in full expectation that this prayer is now manifest. We trust God for this or something greater, and so it is. UPCHURCH is an amazing, amazing spiritual community. We were founded by Reverend Dr. Delarice Lett, and we are carrying on in that tradition, that spiritual tradition that she shared with us in her lifetime, her understanding of God, the way that she related to spirit. And we are so proud to do so. We're so excited and on fire to take this message to you, to share with you the things that she shared with us, and to add the insights that Spirit is downloading in us in this generation. We have a North Star. This is our vision. And our vision is to love every person up to their true identity and to their highest potential for the greater good of all. We are on a mission to express God's divine love through teaching spiritual principles, worship services, fellowship activities, and community outreach. And our theme this year is Open Your Mind. Open your mind. And this is what we have had to do as a spiritual community, is to open up the thinking so that we are able to have more and be more and do more. And so we're in this incredible series, Move into Your Promised Land, an adventure in faith. And in this series, we are building consciousness. We are establishing the mindset that allows us to have that which the Spirit has ordained for us. And so I'm excited to come to you with a powerful word. We're going to be talking about building the nation state, becoming the people who can go in and possess the land. Let's take a moment to slow down, to have a brief meditation, and then we'll get into the rest of the service. Let's take a moment to settle in, to relax right where you are, to know that right where you sit, the presence and the power of God is. The ease and grace of Spirit now calms you down. You can feel the heart space opening. And just let your attention travel from your head to that heart space. And let the listening happen from this heart space. In this space of peace, feel what it feels like when everything is working out. The sense of joy, the sense of peace that comes. Relax into the awareness that you are loved, that you are safe, and you are in your right place. That everything is for you and nothing is against you. Just breathe into that space. And allow God's loving presence to hold you. Recognize that you are divinely provided for. You are forever cared for. God is not only interested in, but is also biased toward your success. The more you relax, the more you become a magnet for that which is rightfully yours. The more you relax, the more your good is attracted to you. The calmness of your spirit is a lure for that good. And it flows to you with grace and ease. Take a deep breath. And one more time, a deep breath, a deep cleansing breath. Feel the sense of gratitude as one who knows that they are loved, that they are safe, and they're in their right space. As we bring this moment of quiet to a close, let us rest in the awareness that we are God's beloved. And so it is, and amen.
So as we move ourselves out of that beautiful meditation, I hope you brought with you that peace, that assuredness that all is well. I'm Reverend Sheree Thompson, and it is my joy to be with you today. I serve at UPCHURCH as the assistant minister and the director of spiritual education. And I am so grateful to be here to welcome you to UPCHURCH. So I want to say hello. I love you to our friends and family who come and worship with us time and time again. And I want to just give an extra dose of love to those of you who are newer to our ministry. Maybe you've just found us and you're trying to figure out, what is this thing I've clicked into? I want you to know that you are in the right place at the right time with the right people, and we have a powerful message to share today. I know you're going to hear something that's going to knock your socks off, that's going to be exactly what you needed to hear because you have a breakthrough in store for you. And so I'm excited to be a witness to it. So I want you to open up your mind to receive this amazing gift. And while we have this gift to share, we want you to know that you're a gift to us. And so if you feel yourself led to grow here with us spiritually, I want to encourage you to take the first step and become a member of church by just letting us know you're interested. So just take that first step, email us or call us, let us know that you're interested in the ministry, you want to know more. And I have some really great news. We have an orientation for new members that's coming up on October 16th. So I really want you to be in that group because we have an orientation, and then following the orientation, there is a spiritual baptism. So you have to make it to that orientation in order to know for sure that you're ready to move into spiritual baptism. It's going to be amazing. And like I said, you just need to take that first step. We'll explain to you all of the steps that it takes. It's really, really simple because we're here to and committed to your spiritual growth. So I want you to know that that's in store. October 16th, that Saturday, is our orientation for new members. And so I want you to know who you're joining, right? So we're teaching you what our message is, but let's see who you're worshiping with. We do this by declaring our spiritual name. There's so many names that we go by in our life, world, and affairs. But your true name is your spiritual name, and that is the name that reflects God, right? So we say it like this, that anything that is true of me spiritually also has to be true of God. So you take I am and you put it next to a quality of God. I am joy. Tell me your spiritual name. I want you to write it in our chat. I want you to write it in comments. I want you to speak it out loud. Let's worship together. Let's declare our spiritual names. Let's get to know each other by who we really are. And so I'm inviting all friends, family, new, been here forever. I want you to go ahead and participate in this because it is invigorating to be around people who are realizing and recognizing who they really are. And we want you to be a part of the powerhouse that we are. I'm just excited to know you. I'm excited to worship with you. And I'm excited to see you grow into who you really are. We have coming up next our daily inspiration for better living. I want to just let you know that Reverend Sherri wrote the daily inspirations for the month of October. And so if you have not already secured your copy, I want you to know that you have to get it quickly because these are amazing. So there is a 2-month publication, September and October. They are available for purchase at ufbl.org, or you can contact the church office and we'll make sure that you get your copy. But this one's so special. I really want you to encourage you to get it. So you're going to get a little taste of it today as we now have our daily inspiration. I'll see you soon.
When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no.
Everything God desires to give you requires a yes from you. You must say yes to unfailing health. You must say yes to massive wealth. You must say yes to real happiness. And without your yes, God cannot completely express through you. Often we feel hurt by the slings and arrows of life. And we can recount in grand detail what this person did or that person took. In truth, the hurt persists because we will not permit the love of God to heal our hurt places. We ascribe power to so-called forces beyond our control to explain away the things that we have not yet manifested. What is rightfully ours comes to us in a speedy way when we look to God alone for our good. Nothing and no one can hold back the good that God has for us. Let us now boldly move forward, giving a resounding yes to our good.
When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That was just the beginning of how amazing the daily inspirations are going to be this month. I want you to go ahead and get your copy and support Reverend Sherry. She has really, really put her heart and soul into this month's daily inspirations. So now let's follow that daily inspiration up with our affirmation of power. This is a new one for the month of October. And so I think it's going to really charge you up to move forward to your promised land. So I'm going to speak it once and then we will affirm together. My adventure in faith guides me to success because God works in me and through me and for me. And God does not fail, so I cannot fail. When I make a decision and take action, I prove my faith in God. So I decide today to claim my promised land. I take action and I prove my faith in God's never ending supply. I take action and prove my faith in God's radiant health. I take action and prove my faith in God's power. God works in me as a mighty force, creating, blessing, fulfilling, and loving. I cannot fail. My adventure in faith is a success. Isn't that powerful? Let's speak that word together. My adventure in faith guides me to success because God works in me and through me and for me. And God does not fail, so I cannot fail. When I make a decision and take action, I prove my faith. So I decide today to claim my promised land. I take action and prove my faith in God's never ending supply. I take action and prove my faith in God's radiant health. I take action and prove my faith in God's power. God works in me as a mighty force, creating, blessing, fulfilling, and loving. I cannot fail. My adventure in faith is a success. And so it is. Amen. Amen. So we're going to work with this affirmation of power this month. I want you to take it. You know how we work it. Take it, and maybe there's just a piece of it that you need to remember. Grab that piece and work it all week. We're going to be working with this one for the entire month of October. So I'm getting ready to turn the service over to Reverend Sherry. I want you to open yourself up, open up your mind. That's our theme this year, because there is a divine word in store for you today. You're going to hear it in the music. You're going to hear it in the sermon. And I want you to be prepared for it. So get out your pens and get ready to take note.
Hey, family. I am so excited about how amazingly this series is going that I wanted to take a moment to share with you a testimony from someone in one of our small groups. And this is the perfect opportunity. I want you to hear what the small group experience has been for Shamika Cotton. And if you haven't yet signed up for a small group, I want to encourage you, it's not too late. You can click the link, add your name to the list, and we will put you in a small group for the remainder of this series. But this is such a powerful experience, and there's such incredible learning that happens in the small group experience. And so I just want to encourage you to go ahead, click that button, join us. Maybe you thought about it, but you're like, I don't know if I have the time. Let me encourage you to make the time. So go ahead, click the button, choose a small group that works for you, and maybe we'll feature your testimony in an upcoming service. Okay, passing the baton now to Shamika, and then we'll hear from our dynamic worship team.
Hey, UpChurch family, it's me, Shamika. And I just want to take a moment to come on here and say how much I am absolutely loving and living for this adventure and faith journey that we are all on together. Now, I know we're finishing up week 3, heading into week 4, but I don't know about you, but I have had at least one major shift in my awareness or my consciousness that I know is a powerful and pivotal step to the unfolding of my promised land. Right? So somewhere between, fellowshipping and meeting with my amazing small group who I absolutely love, and spending time just engaging with the word, prayer and meditation and journaling, I heard God tell me to take a particular step. And initially I was like, no way, I'm not doing that. That sounds foolish. Why would I do that? There's nothing on the outside that says that I'm even ready to take a step like that. And that's when I heard God say, Shamika, you are depending on external factors to tell you when you are ready or when you are qualified. If I say you're ready, you're ready. If I say you're qualified, right? So because of that conversation, because of that new thought, I realized that there were places within me where I still hadn't fully accepted all that God said that I could have. I still hadn't fully come to grasp with all that God said I am. I was still depending on external factors to tell me what I was worthy of, instead of going from within and taking inspired action based on the truth of who I am. So I took the step. It was terrifying. And the only way I got through it was by having affirmations and denials that I could use to counter all the thoughts that I was having that wanted to focus on the external factors while I was taking the steps. So I'm so glad that I took the step, because it allowed me to see places in my thinking that still needed some healing or some expanding. And I think that that's so powerful, because we all know that I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that makes the things. So, I'm Team Joshua.
I hear more of you. I hear more of you when I let go. When I let go, I feel more of you. I feel more of you when I surrender. When I surrender, less of me and more of you. Less of me and more of you. I see more of you. I see more of you when I am free. When I am free, I breathe more of you. I breathe more of you when my heart's so bad. When my heart's so bad. Oh, less
to our dynamic worship team. Gosh, you guys are amazing. How awesome. We are so fortunate. Okay, I titled this sermon today, Building the Nation State. Building the nation state. And this is about becoming the people who can possess the land. That's what we're doing. We're becoming the people who can possess the land. And I think it's a good time to just review, make sure we always keep at the forefront of our minds the purpose for this series. The reason that we did this series more than any other is that we are establishing a consciousness of oneness. We're establishing a mindset of oneness with God. And our definition of consciousness is that it is the sum total of your thoughts and feelings. But I want to expand that definition just a little bit because I'd like to include with it your daily habits. That when you say you have a consciousness of a thing, it is more than saying I have thoughts and feelings about this thing. What I'm saying is that those thoughts and feelings are so dominant in my expression that my actions precede or proceed out of them. And so I want to expand that and talk about a daily habit pattern of oneness with God. And the small groups are a part of supporting you in creating that. And so your small group is a way for you to connect, to talk about these things that we're sharing in the sermons, to go over the passages together, and to really grow together, to deepen your understanding of this material. What I know for sure is that as you become the person who can possess the promised land, your individual promised land, you bring that same talent into this community. You bring that same energy into what we're doing at UPCHURCH. And so as you grow, we grow. So we are on the same side of the equation. As you stretch, we stretch. And so as you take this adventure, we're asking you to read the 6th chapter of Joshua every day. Every day. It's not a long chapter. You can read it in a 15-minute setting, but it's seeding your mind with the ideas of these timeless words of Scripture. And then you're recording your insights from that daily reading. And then if you have time, I would also recommend, probably highly recommend, that you go back and listen to the sermons that Reverend Sheree and I have given and really spend some time meditating and praying over your promised land. And let's not forget the covenant. The covenant is what it is all about. It is about adherence to the covenant. And so to remind you, our covenant is that I am ready for my adventure in faith. I see the divine opportunity designed just for me, and I wholeheartedly say, yes, God. I am strong. I will withstand the temptation to dream small or stay the same. I am courageous. I travel as the power, love, and life of God. I have no reason to fear. Nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me. I think thoughts, feel feelings, and speak words that reflect the promise, my promise, being fulfilled. I live in a perpetual state of gratitude. I move on up. I move into my promised land now. Keep that covenant in the forefront of your mind. Now, our guiding scripture for this lesson comes from the 6th chapter, of course, but it's verses 17, 18, and 19. And this version that I'm reading from you is from the Jewish Study Bible. The city and everything in it are proscribed for the Lord. Only Rahab the harlot is to be spared, and all who who are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers we sent. But you must beware of that which is proscribed, or else you will be proscribed. If you take anything from that which is proscribed, you will cause the camp of Israel to be proscribed. You will bring calamity upon it. All the silver and gold and objects of copper and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They must go into the treasury of the Lord. My thesis is that before you can possess your promised land, you must cultivate and maintain self-discipline. Before you can possess your promised land, you must cultivate and maintain self-discipline. So let's talk about building a nation state. Relational unfoldment. This is the week that we're on right now. Relational unfoldment is about how you relate to the world around you. So yes, that includes your relationships, but really it's your relationship to everything, to people, places, things, objects. It is your relationship with everything. It is about developing a principled consistency in the way you show up, no matter what is going on. And so the book of Joshua is a part of the second major section of the Bible after the Pentateuch or after the Torah, and it's called the prophets. This section of the Bible is divided into two parts that we refer to as the former prophets and then the latter prophets. And so the former prophets include the books of Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. And they read like a historical narrative. And then the latter prophets is a collection of books, each of which bears the name of the individual whose prophecies it contains. So books like Micah or Obadiah or Amos or Jonah. The books on the former prophets are meant to serve as a record of how Israel became a nation state. That's what it's concerned with. It is how did we get here? How did we become a people? And the most salient feature of the literature is the conviction that Israel's residence in the land is a function of its obedience to the covenant with Yahweh. I'm going to say that again. The most prominent salient feature of all of the former prophets is the conviction that Israel's residence in the land, that its ability to have its promised land is a function of its obedience to the covenant with Yahweh. In other words, it is about their relational unfoldment as they move across the land to occupy it. Some nations they destroy, others they form treaties with. What determines whether a treaty is formed or a nation is destroyed comes down to whether it fulfills the covenant. Everything is about the covenant. And everything is put in service to this agreement that they have with Yahweh. And so that is a prescription for us. Possessing the land requires obedience to the covenant. And so let's go back. We want to read this covenant every day. I am ready for my adventure in faith. Am I choosing actions? Am I doing things that honor the covenant, that fulfill the promise of the covenant? I see the divine opportunity designed just for me, and I wholeheartedly say, yes, God. Am I making choices in my daily experience that keep my eyes open to the divine opportunity? I am strong. I will withstand the temptation to dream small or stay the same. That's a covenant. That's an agreement. That's an agreement that I'm not going to rest with where I am, but I'm going to get up and go forward and reach for something greater. I am courageous. I travel as the power, love, and life of God. I have no reason to fear. See, we have a covenant, and building the nation state is about obedience to the covenant. And we talked about obedience last week. Building the nation state is about obedience to the covenant. And this is the way that you become the people who can possess the land. If you cannot be obedient to the covenant, you cannot be in the promised land. It's just that simple. And so there is an attitude, there is a way of moving through life. We might even call it the UPCHURCH way. Well, what's the UPCHURCH way of doing things? Well, the UPCHURCH way of doing things is that I come at life like I'm ready for my adventure in faith. The UPCHURCH way of doing things is that I approach every opportunity from the perspective of I see the divine opportunity designed just for me, and I wholeheartedly say, yes, God. Well, the UPCHURCH way is that nothing can stop me. So I roll through life as if I'm unstoppable. Are you getting this? Put something in the chat. Let me know. I am hashtag Team Joshua. I am building the nation state. I am becoming the person who can possess the land. See, we're like those Israelites that were under Joshua's leadership, because we too are forming an identity that will enable us to have our promised land. Always remember that we are in a state of becoming. We're in this state of becoming who we are meant to be. And the verses that are highlighted today are instructive for us. The scripture reads, the city and everything in it are to be proscribed for the Lord. But you must beware of that which is proscribed, or else you will be proscribed. If you take anything from that which is proscribed, you will cause the camp of Israel to be proscribed. You will bring calamity upon it. That word proscribed, we don't really use that a lot. And maybe if you saw it, you probably think it was related to prescribed, like a doctor prescribes a medicine for a condition. But proscribed is something that's forbidden. See, there is a way of doing life where there are certain things that you don't even allow yourself to come into contact with. And so what Joshua is giving them is these are the things that you keep yourself apart from. See, separation is about not just separation from things, but it's also separation to God's service. That means, of course, the observance of God's laws, especially the purity laws, the rejection of pagan practices, and so on. But it's a privilege of having been chosen or singled out, of being a holy people to God. And it entails obligations and responsibility. Now, gosh, I always like to take this out of the religious setting, because I feel like sometimes when we hear it in a religious setting, it feels restrictive. But I just had a chance last week to go see Gold Over America, which was the tour of the gymnastics Olympic team led by Simone Biles. That in order to become the elite athletes that they are, that there were things that had to be proscribed, that they had to be proscribed from, that had to be forbidden. Meaning that there was a level of practice that they had to demonstrate in order to show up on the international scene and capture gold or capture silver. Right? That there was a way that they had to conduct themselves. There are things that they had to keep themselves from and give themselves to in order to possess the promised land of a gold medal. So I want you to get that this is universal. you're hearing it in the language of religion because that's the language that resonates with you. But I want you to get that this is a principle that goes out and applies everywhere. And so when we're talking about something that is proscribed, you're realizing that I've been chosen, that I've been singled out, that these talents and these abilities that I have positioned me for something unique. And so I have to participate in my promised land by keeping myself from the things that would damage or hinder my ability to go in and possess the land. Joshua wanted the children of Israel to put the Lord first, and that's Lord in what we call small caps. The Lord equals the law, or I am. Joshua wanted the children of Israel to put the I am first. This action is fundamental to true progress. You cannot go forward any other way. The I am goes before you to create whatever word you have given it to carry forward. And so you must put the law that governs where you want to be first if you are to possess your promised land. By your actions, through your daily choices, you can make yourself unfit for your promised land. Isn't that something? It is not what is being done to you. It is what you are doing through your daily actions. This is why we said to you, we're building a consciousness of oneness. We're building a daily habit pattern of oneness. And so there's some things that you need to understand in order to build your nation state. The first understanding that you need is that obedience is the fruit of self-discipline. The second understanding that you need is that self-discipline is self-imposed. And the third understanding that you need is that self-discipline makes you a match for your promised land. All right, let's get into it. Understanding number one, obedience is the fruit of self-discipline. What can I count on you to do when no one is looking? What can I count on you to do when no one is looking? How will you behave when there are no immediate or obvious consequences for your behavior? Remember what I said last week, obedience is an act of faith. Disobedience is a result of unbelief. So again, going back into that realm of gymnastics, that obedience is an act of faith. That I don't know that when I go in the gym, I'm going to get a gold medal, right? The Olympics might be 4 years away. I don't know when I put forth that work that it's going to result in some kind in what it is that I want to do, but I'm being obedient to the practice because I have faith that it will pay out. Obedience brings success. And exact obedience brings miracles. The way that you develop obedience is to practice self-discipline. You see, war is messy. It would have been so easy for any one of those warriors in the melee of battle to grab a few things for their own treasury. How easy would it have been to just get a little gold coin and slip it in your pocket? It's just one gold coin. Who's going to know? Nobody's going to know. But metaphysically, obedience comes through understanding our relation to God. Once I truly know what I am and who I am to God, I know what I will and will not do. It's not a matter of can I do it? Because just because I can do it doesn't mean that I should do it. And so you have to decide today what you're going to be disciplined about. Can you develop self-discipline about your bedtime? Can you develop self-discipline around your eating habits? Can you develop self-discipline around what time you go to work or arrive at work? Can you develop self-discipline around the things you do to grow your marriage? Remember, obedience is the fruit of self-discipline. So you don't go for obedience, you go for self-discipline. What do I need to be disciplined about? What do I want to be counted on to do, whether somebody's looking at me or not? Understanding number 2, self-discipline is self-imposed. It is not self-discipline if someone is making you do it. Self-discipline is you demanding of yourself certain habits, attitudes, and behaviors. Self-discipline is when your conscience tells you to do something and you don't talk back. The truth is that we are all disciplined about something. The question isn't whether you're disciplined, but rather it is, what are you disciplined about? Are you disciplined to put off doing your work? Are you disciplined to overgive to others and undergive to yourself? Are you disciplined to start projects but not finish them? Everyone is self-disciplined in some way. And so Joshua, as the leader of this nation, knows that if we don't get if we don't get disciplined about the right things together, then we will never make it as a nation. You know, sitting in this position as a senior minister, and why this series is so important to me is that I get that if we don't get this consciousness of oneness with God together, then we miss out on the opportunity of who we can become. So we need the stability that self-discipline delivers and provides. Motivation will get you going. Everybody's motivated. You're motivated coming out of this sermon, right? Coming out of this service. Motivation will get you going, but it's going to be that self-discipline that keeps you going. I think it's Robin Sharma that says, all change is exciting in the beginning, and it's messy in the middle, and it's glorious at the end. And it's in that middle place where we drop out. It's in that middle place when you're in the routine of the thing that you're being disciplined about, and you're not yet seeing the results. You're not where you were, but you're not where you want to be. And the progress that you seem to be making seems to be infinitesimally small. And this is when you have to have the self-discipline to keep going no matter what. Self-discipline in any area is going to create momentum, but you got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. Part of why success seems fleeting is because there's no discipline around the direction that you're asking God to take you. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you will never control what you do, because actions follow thoughts. This is why we talk to you about having a morning routine, a daily morning routine, not a nightly daily routine, a daily morning routine. I'm speaking to some of y'all who are like, I can't get up in the morning. Yes, you can. Get up. This is why. The secret to mastering your thoughts is found in the daily morning routine. So science tells us that the average person thinks between, 40,000 to 80,000 thoughts in a given day. At the end of the day, some kind of garden has been laid in your life. Something has been done. You're going to think these thoughts. And so my position and what I am leading you to do is to condition those 40 to 80,000 thoughts before you think them. That as you get up and spend that quiet time with God, as you read this 6th chapter of Joshua every day and write your insights about it, as you think about these concepts, as you journal those insights, as you recite the covenant to keep the agreement with God at the forefront of your mind, as you take that daily action, that essentially what you do is like you're painting those 40 to 80,000 thoughts before they go out to basically plant a garden in your consciousness. Self-discipline is self-imposed. Maybe it's hard for you to imagine, scripting an entire hour at the top of your day. Start with 5 minutes. Don't be afraid to begin this thing small, because everything that's big was once small. So do not despise the day of small beginnings. Be okay with life looking the way that it is right now, because it's exactly where you need to be in order to go where God is taking you. And so understanding number 3, self-discipline makes you a match for your promised land. With self-discipline, most anything is possible. You have to rule your mind or it will rule you. You see, Joshua understood that how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. Self-discipline is your ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, no matter how you feel. Joshua knew that if we go in here and we begin to loot the nation, right? We're coming in to conquer. We are establishing a nation state. But if we go in and loot the nation, we will be a nation of looters. If we go in and loot the nation, we will be a nation of looters. There is no such thing as compartmentalizing. That's a fallacy. That is a fallacy, because the thoughts that you have in one place, it's like putting a red shirt in a white load of laundry. The moment the water hits the fabric, that red is bleeding out all over the rest of the laundry. And so Joshua understands that if we're going to be a true nation, then we have to let go of the attitudes that would have us loot, that would have us take, because people who have their own are not takers. Come on now. People who have their own are not takers. I don't need to take it. I got my own. And so self-discipline is the magic power that makes you virtually unstoppable. You cannot stop the results of my good daily habits. Self-discipline is the magic power that makes you virtually unstoppable. It makes you unstoppable because you cannot stop the good results of my good daily habits. There are no free actions. None. No free actions. I cannot control the when, but I can control setting the conditions that make the result inevitable. And so the odds may be stacked against me. Everything might be looking bad around me. But the truth is that I've got a trump card in my hand. And that trump card is my self-discipline. Self-discipline is what you have to have in order to resist the lure of excuses. There is always an excuse lurking around the background in your mind, waiting to get your attention. And so you have to have the Joshua state of mind. I take all that is valuable and I put it all in service to God. He says all the silver and the gold and the objects of copper and iron are consecrated to the Lord. They must go in the treasury of the Lord. In other words, there's a discipline that I have, and we can't go in here being a nation of looters, or that is who we will be, and we will fall. And so gold metaphysically represents your spiritual gifts. Silver metaphysically represents love and wisdom, and iron represents a consciousness of strength. I must develop the self-discipline to take my spiritual gifts, my love and my wisdom, and all of my strength and consecrate it to the law. Consecrated to I am. To consecrate means to make holy. It means to set apart for the service of God. In other words, I take the good that lies within me and I put it in service to the dreams that God desires to dream through me. In other words, I am about my Father's business. When you see me doing my Father's business. Self-discipline makes you a match for that promised land. And so let's review. Before you can possess your promised land, you must cultivate and maintain self-discipline. And so understanding number one, obedience is the fruit of self-discipline. Don't go for obedience, go for self-discipline, and obedience will be just the fruit on your tree. Understanding number two, self-discipline is self-imposed. We must be Joshua for ourselves. It is about what I tell myself to do and actually follow through with it. And understanding number three, self-discipline makes you a match for your promised land. Only you can keep you out of your promised land. God bless you.
Paul says, as he wrote in the scriptures, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed to both be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So that dream that you got, those goals you got in mind, that illness that you're grappling with. I remember the words of Jesus when he said, pick up your bed and walk. Through Christ, I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I rejoice, Lord, in your presence as your power supplies all my needs. I rejoice, Lord, even in my weakness, as your strength is made perfect in me. Strengthens me, strengthens me. I can do all things. Every little thing, everything I need, all my dreams and desires. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah. I rejoice, Lord. Supplies all of my needs, all of my needs, all of my needs. I rejoice, Lord. every little thing I dream about, every little thing I think about, all the things that the Lord has in store for me that I know is mine and only mine to do. I can do them, I can do them, I can do every little thing, all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ. Who strengthens me. All things.
All right, family, it is time to support your spiritual center and help us take this message global. Made it so easy for you to support UpChurch. Contributions to our ministry can be made online. You can text UpChurch to 73256, or you can go to upchurch.org and click on the give button, or you can make your gift via Cash App. Our Cash App ID is $UpChurchLA, or you can mail in your gift. And remember, we have a new mailing address, 3108 Glendale Boulevard, number 547, Los Angeles, 90039. Would you read along with me? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. All right, let's back up that blessing with a declaration. We want to send this seed out with energy, enthusiasm, and expectancy. I am in the flow. I give generously and I receive abundantly. I am a massive giver and a gracious receiver. All right, family, let's have some announcements and then I'll be back to close us out.
Brief announcement for you, UpChurch. I want you to mark your calendars for October 30th. We're going to have our Halloween bingo night. This is going to be a really, really fun fundraiser, and we're going to play bingo and laugh and have a blast all together. So I want you to tell your friends, because I know you have some friends who love bingo. I want you to tell them to save the date, October 30th. There are going to be prizes and games and cash prizes. So much fun. If you're interested in helping us bring on this bingo night, if you're like, I want to get a part of the exciting planning committee, reach out to me, Rev Sheree at upchurch.org. See you soon.
Would you join me in giving a very big special thank you to our social media all-stars? Thank you to everyone who has said yes to helping us grow globally. We deeply appreciate your comments, your likes, your shares. And here's the thing, there is room on this team for you. If you have a heart for social media or you're on social media all the time, go ahead and join the team. It's really simple. Email us at upchurch@upchurch.org and we will get you signed up. And thank you to Glenda Fikes McCrae, who helped us choose the clips that you're seeing this month.
Hello, UpChurch family. I have exciting news. It's back to school time. It is time for us to get back into the classroom. We have two powerful spiritual growth opportunities for you. The first is spiritual principles for lasting weight loss. You heard me right. We're going to have the spiritual principles for lasting weight loss experience again. It's fresh and new for those of you who've taken it before. I want to encourage you to come in so you can just break the chains that have bound you to excess weight. And so we're going to do that together on Sundays from 11:30 a.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have that experience before the worship experience each Sunday. And so I want to encourage you to register today. You won't regret it. Second class is our Bible class. John Downey has been teaching our Bible series, and it's been an amazing experience. I hear from you. And so Bible 3 is coming up at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And this is where we get into the metaphysical interpretation of the Old Testament. I'm telling you, you want to be in both of these classes, really. But it is important that you wake yourself up so that you can let your body be free from all the baggage that you may have accumulated over time. And it's important that you understand the tool that the Bible is and how to interpret it so that you can get principle out of it. Those two experiences begin October 3rd. Register today. It's only $15 per course. Register today.
Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being a part of this worship experience. And I am knowing that something heard, something sung, something said touched your heart. And so I just want to bless you now to go forward, to be the people who can possess the land, to really be those people, to develop and maintain the self-discipline needed to inhabit your promised land. I know you can do it. And we're here rooting for you, cheering for you, seeing the best for you, recognizing you as your highest and best self. I can't wait to see you in the after party. Come hang out with us. Let's chat. Let's talk about what you heard, what you still might have questions on, and I will see you there. Let's take our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And so it is. Have an absolutely beautiful day. I'll see you in a little bit.